Hello everybody, today I'm going to be taking a look at every single Drain Gang album from Glue to Spider. It's going to be including all the Bladee, Ecco 2K and the Thai Boy digital albums. I'm going to be ranking them in the order which I find them to be the most unique, influential and overall the best, most enjoyable listens. So they would be the best albums in that sense. So albums in S tier would reflect pretty much works of art. In my opinion, they would be like as good as a Drain Gang album can get. Minimal flaws throughout the entire album, which would be similar to the A tier. The A tier would have a lot of solid songs, but it wouldn't be absolutely perfect. There could be some room for improvement. B tier would be good albums which are still fun to listen to, but they aren't really that great. Like, you can't really call them pieces of art. And C tier would be, I think, albums that lacked a little bit. They would still be good listenable albums because I really don't think that Drain Gang has any bad albums, but I would say that they could have used some work. And I don't think there is any D tier or like genuinely bad Drain Gang or Bladee or Ecco or Thai Boy album in general. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove this row because you really just need these four when you're talking about Drain Gang. So I'm going to be starting chronologically. First off, I'm going to start with Glue. Glue is Blade's debut mixtape, and it's a fairly short project, but it's definitely incredibly influential. It's the thing that started it all, I guess you could say. It's got everything that you need in a Drain Gang project, from the Bladee traditional heavy use of auto-tune. You got the really unique and experimental beats. I really just fuck with the whole thing overall. I'd say it's not quite S tier because there are some songs that are kind of lacking. They feel a bit like filler to me, but I would say that the concept of it and the execution was absolutely great. So I'm gonna have to go and put this in A tier. It's a really great album. A lot of people don't get into Glue until later in their like fan experience with Bladee and Drain Gang overall. So, but I would recommend it to anyone to give it a listen. Next up is Eversince. Eversince, I think, is amongst Blade's best emotional writing. Like, the lyrics are so emotional and they're so like, I can't find any other word for it other than like real. Like, it feels true and genuine, everything that he says in the album. The instrumentals are really great. His vocal style is really great. I just feel like it's a very solid album on the whole. It holds up pretty well even nowadays, even though his style has changed a lot, like you can see in my previous video. But I still think that overall Ever Since is almost unbeatable as an album. It doesn't have any major flaws, so I'm gonna have to go and put this as the first S tier so far. I love it. I love the cover art. I love the vibe. I love everything. Amazing album. I'm gonna have to go S tier for this. Next is AVP, which is a collaboration album between Bladee and Thai Boy. I feel like it's not bad. It's definitely a good album, but it doesn't do anything super special. There are some songs I like Still in Search of Sunshine and Area 51, but like overall, like there's no reason to listen to this album over the others. It doesn't do anything super unique or super great. It's not to say it's bad, it's just doesn't really compare to Glue or Eversince or any of the other albums, to be honest. But that said, it's still a fun listen and it still does a lot of things right. So for that, I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Not quite amazing, but not quite bad. Middle of the road. Work on Dying is a really, really good album. Listen wise, like, it's super easy to listen to, super friendly on the ears for anyone. Like, anyone who likes trap would probably like this album. You don't have to be a hardcore Bladee fan to like it, and its accessibility is kind of what got a lot of people into Bladee. But at the same time, it still retains like the Drain style of Bladee, and he stays true to his sound, even though he does make the sound overall more accessible throughout this album. The themes are pretty good. The continuation of the sadness that you see in Ever Since, the continuation and the development of anger, shit like that. I find the writing pretty well good, especially on like Gatekeeper. Shit's amazing writing. I really like it. I don't see any particular flaws with this album. However, it is short, and there are a couple of there's like one or two skips, like Cherry Bracelets and Red Light Moments, which aren't bad. I wouldn't say they're bad at all, but they're not like that fun to listen to. I'm not Cherry Bracelet. Cherry Bracelet is pretty good, but Red Light Moments is pretty bad. It's an A tier. If it was a bit longer and had a couple better songs, I mean, S tier easy. Red Light. Red Light is a pretty polarizing album. A lot of people would say it's the best Blade album, which I honestly really don't see. I would say it's definitely a great album, but it just kind of feels like Ever Since 2 in some senses. I feel like the instrumentals are still really good, like on Decay and Obedient, but they feel a bit lazier than Ever Since. I'm not trying to disrespect White Armor or anything like that, but I do feel like instrumentals got um, lazier just because Ever Since had an individual style for every single song with like loud 808s on Sugar and then guitar and slow instrumentals on Skin and shit like that, and it's still present on Red Light, but it's just it feels like there's a few filler songs with like College Boy, Golden Boy, things like that, which aren't bad again, but it's just not as good as Ever Since. With that out the way, I still think that it's a really really good album with super high highs, amazing cover art, which I really fucking love. I'm gonna have to put this in the A tier. I feel like if it had a couple songs less and a couple songs with like revamped instrumentals, I feel like it would be a much better thing than it is right now. Still love it, still think it's great, just not Ever Since tier. Ice Dancer is my personal favorite album, so you already know where it's going to go. So I'm gonna explain myself. Ice Dancer is perfect. I don't think there's a single skip on that album. The whole album bangs. Just actual masterpiece. The instrument is amazing. The writing amazing. The theme amazing. The cover iconic. I feel like it's got like the best individual most accessible songs, so that if you wanted to get someone to drink and you send them Be Nice to Me, you send them Malhor Freestyle. There's some funny songs like Malhor, and there's some serious ones, and there's some sad ones. It's really just everything that you would want from a drinking project. I feel like this lack of an echo feature kind of harms it, because I really love echo, but that's okay. It's not a bad album just because of that. I still find it really good. I still enjoy it a lot. I'm gonna have to give this the S tier. It's just too good of an album. Exeter. Exeter is great. It's a really important album in the sense that it marked a change for Blade style, as you can see from the sadder and more emotional sadness in Blade's albums from here. Like before Exeter, we've had all of these, and then after Exeter, he changed to kind of more spiritual, more deep, more even more happy man, you could say. And I really like that in the sense of this album. So I'm gonna have to give it an A tier just because it's so important for the stylistic change of Blade. But in and of itself, while it's really good and I really like the ideas of it, it's really short and it doesn't do enough by itself to justify an S tier. If it was a bit longer, I would probably put it in the S tier because it's so unique. I really can't find anything like that. It feels like Gregorian chant trap, so it's really good. I love it. Following up, that was 333. I feel like 333 is an easy S tier. Everything on 333 is so amazingly unique. It's just surprised everyone when it dropped. It's so good. Like, it's so good. There is unique vocals. He talks about spirituality, he talks about God, he talks about being at the back of the club with the bad girls. Is just such an amazing album. From the unique instrumentals to the unique writing, it's just all a very positive and very amazing experience. It's something which I didn't think that Blade was capable of delivering, but I've changed my mind since then. He's clearly a very, 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 very multi-talented man with very good writing, and it has come a long way from the simpler lyrics in Glue and Ever Since. Still good lyrics, but now even better with deep and existential writing, like a Noblest Strive. Like shit like that is genuinely fucking phenomenal to me. Amazing album. Good Luck. Good Luck gets a lot of hate. It's not that bad. It's just not that good. There really isn't much to say about it. Have a listen. You do decide for yourself if it's good. I personally wouldn't say it's a bad album. It just doesn't really do that much. It's boring, pretty much. It's just feels like a worse version of every other album, in the sense that not only does it not provide any lyrical substance, but also the instrumentals are boring. They're just plain boring. They're over and over repetitive. And while it was good for like a couple of singles, I don't think there was any need to make a whole album out of it. So for that, I'm gonna have to give it as the first C tier. Not necessarily a bad album, but like it's not good. Like, why would you listen to it? Like, it's just kind of pointless. Every now and then, like a single or two, like drama or some shit like that, God or drama is pretty much the only ones I like. Maybe Sun or You. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. And the same goes for the deluxe version. There are some cool features I like on that, but I mean, it doesn't. It feels like a black sheep in the rest of Blade's discography. The Fool is, in my opinion, one of the best albums that Blade has put out. Easy S tier, compares very well to the rest of the ones in the S tier. I really think that the themes in it felt like a 3-3-3-2, but the instrumentals were drastically different with like loud, glaring, and glossy synths. It felt like hyper pop at some points, like in trendy and shit like that, while still remaining deep and existential and spiritual and philosophical with the lyrics, just like 333. I think it's an amazing feat to be able to mix simplistic, synthy, glossy instrumentals with such a fucking deep theme and still make it sound really good, like on Search Through and on trendy shit like that. Like the entire album, I feel like doesn't have any skips. Maybe like one or two, but I honestly, none are coming to mind that I would skip. So really, it's a fucking amazing album. It's debatably one of the best, if not the best album. I would honestly put it in front of 333. Um, Somewhere like this. This would be the order of my favorite S tier albums. Crest is good. It's really fucking repetitive. Like, it just doesn't really go anywhere. It continues on the themes in The Fool and 333, and that's not bad. That's a great thing because I really like them. But it doesn't do much. Like, their lyrics are really simple. Even the instrumentals like repeat kind of throughout the song, which is fine. It happens in a lot of other albums, but it feels to me like Crest is just one really long song. I don't know if other people feel that way. It's not a bad long song, I guess, but it's just doesn't do enough to justify an S tier. With that said, I like the themes, I like the writing, I like the imagery. It's a really fun listen, but it's not something I would keep coming back to regularly over and over and over and over. So for that, I'm gonna have to put it in the A tier, but it could debatably be B tier. I really don't know. I mean, it depends what you like, I guess. I really just fuck with the instrumentals overall, even though it's pretty repetitive. I fuck with it still, so I'm just gonna put it in A. Spider is a pretty polarizing album from what I'm seeing. A lot of like old school Drain fans, old school Drainers are like not that into it because they're saying that he's going into hyperpop, especially with songs like Haha and Velociraptor, Icarus 3 style. But I don't really see that. I really just see it as an antagonist to The Fool, if you can kind of understand that. It's like the positivity of The Fool, but kind of with this sour taste mixed in. Not a bad album. To me, it's actually a really good album. It has a lot of emotional points. It feels like he's returning to his older self from his spiritual and kind of happy, blissful Crest album type vibe. And he's returning back to a more deep thinking, and he's returning to an anxiety, maybe even a sadness. I think it's really a project that will age well, and a lot of people will look back on it as one of his best ones. I think the album cover is really cool too. I didn't like it at first, but it really grew on me fast. Um, I think that it's just short of an S tier just because doesn't have that many bangers. Like, not many songs that I would want to listen to over and over and over. Like, Haha is one of those for me, and that's pretty much it. I think like Icarus three style or Velociraptor, maybe like She's Always Dancing, but the rest are like very emotional songs that you would want to listen to a couple of times or when you're in your feelings, but not over and over and over and over. So for that, I'm gonna put it in the A tier. It could have been S, but I think eventually with time, when the community grows and learns like just the place of Spider and where it's meant to be in the Drain Gang discography, I think it will eventually become S tier just because it has so much potential. But I feel like it doesn't really match up to what's going on right now. I don't know. If you guys feel that way, drop a comment. Let me know what you feel. Now the next album is DNG. It's a collaborative album between Drain Gang with Boy, Echo, and Bladee all having singles and also collaborations with each other, obviously, and Young Lean also having a feature or two. So I think it's underrated. A lot of people put it in B or C, but I really think it's a pretty good album. Again, it's just not as strong as the rest. I feel like it's pretty similar to the critique of it is pretty similar to Still in Search of Sunshine. I meant AVP. It's good. It's not unique. It's not amazing. It's not great. It has good highs and good individual songs. Not enough substance to keep it in the S or A tier. I think I'd put it in B or A. Depends on the day or the mood, I guess. But I'm gonna put it in B to give it the benefit of the doubt. Trash Island is one of their weaker albums. I know a lot of people fucking love it, and that's fine. But to me, I just really don't like many of the songs. I like Victim, and I really like 30th Floor, and I really like Western Union. But the rest of the songs don't have enough substance to keep me coming and coming and coming back. B tier, I really don't think there's much else to say. B for me. E. Um, E is Echo's first solo album. It doesn't have any features from Bladee or Boy, and it's so fucking ambitious. It's so unique. It's so great. It feels like contemporary R&B at some points. It feels like fucking Echo screaming at you and shouting at you in like Time and Blue Eyes. It's just a really well-made, deep and sometimes even like reflective, and reflects on societal problems, racism, even sexuality, and being comfortable in your own skin, being comfortable with how you look in your mirror, like what looks back at you from the mirror. Great album. Could use actually, I really don't think there's anything I would change about it. Perfect length, perfect theme and everything. Like the cover also represents like the simplicity of the album, while at the same time still having a deeper hidden inner meaning. Really wouldn't change anything about it. Great fucking project. One of the best Drain Gang albums overall. I put it like around here in terms of my favorites. Explosive start for Echo's solo career. I really like it. Not much else to say about it. PXE is also a solo project from Echo with no other features. It's only 5 songs long, so that prevents me from putting it in the S tier. But I would say it's a really fucking good small EP. It's really experimental, so it's not for everyone. A lot of people will listen to it and not really like the instrumentals or the vocal style that he goes for. But I really like it. If it was any longer, I'd probably put it in S. But that said, if it was any longer, it would kind of lose its charm as a short, experimental, fun EP. So I'm gonna have to put it in the A. It's really as good as it can be for what it is, but like, I think it's a really fun experiment that he did, but it's not more than that. It's enjoyable. Legendary Member would be Thighboy's second album. So it's pretty contradictory in my head. I really like some of the songs, and I really don't like some of the others. I don't like the cover art that much. It's pretty good, but like it doesn't really compare to any of the others, which I really fucking love. Especially like Spider, PXE, Ever Since, The Fool, Ice Dancer, Glue, Working on Dying, Red Light. Amazing cover art, extremely iconic. This one I feel like is not that good. It's maybe like a 7. But cover art aside, the actual content of the songs is good. I like Kit Kat, I like Baby, I like Lip Service, Legendary Member, the song itself. Great songs, not as good as the rest of the albums. I feel like Thighboy could have done a lot more with the album, but it's not bad for sure. It's got some experimental songs like Baby and Lip Service, which feel really nice and feel really different, like a breath of fresh air from the rest of the Ring Gang. But it could have used some polishing before release. I feel like it falls a bit short of S, but also kind of falls a bit short of A, just to me. I think it's gonna have to go for B. It could be an A if I'm really feeling it on that day, I guess, but I really don't know. If you guys really like it, just let me know in the comments. But I've never really like said, fuck, this is such an amazing album. Like I've said it with most of the albums in S and A. I really have not said this with this one. It's a good album. It has good songs, but needs work. Tiger. Tiger has good songs as well. It's pretty old, so like it feels like a Glue but for Thighboy. It's fun to listen to. It's experimental. I like GTB Let's Go. I like Diamonds. I like Haters Broke. It's just fun. It's a really fun project. I think it's better than Legendary Member, but not by a large amount. I enjoy it. It's a great song. I'm sorry, great album. I love it. Could have used some work. I think that some of the instrumentals can be boring, but still, really not that much to say about it. I don't find it as interesting as the rest of the Drain project, but still a pretty good one. So I'm just gonna put it in A. And for the last one, I don't think I've even. No, I'm pretty sure I have listened to these at some point, but I don't really remember them. So I'm not even going to bother rating it. I'm just gonna put it in tier of its own. I'm just gonna call it Forgotten. And that would be the entire tier list for every album released and every like small EP project, I guess, released by Drain Gang. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I really feel like this is a pretty accurate one. I feel like a couple could move, like maybe Spider would move into the S tier at some point. Maybe this one could move into the S tier. This maybe to some people, Exeter as well. But overall, I feel like it's fairly accurate. You know what? I think Glue could be in the S tier if only it just had like Safe House and Freeze, or like Upgrade enabled and Freeze removed. Because those, I feel like those really hold it back. Because otherwise, the songs like Unreal, eBay, Delete, just fucking phenomenal. But yeah, overall, I feel like this is a pretty good album. No, sorry, pretty good tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.